The latest news, updates, and more from the world of health and medicine. This is Medical Minutes, brought to you by Community Health Network.
The CDC says infections with bacteria that causes what's known as walking pneumonia are rising significantly, particularly when it comes to young children. Of course, to break that down, our medical expert is here, Dr. Janelle Gordon. She's going to talk about the dangers it could pose to your child. Dr. Gordon, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, Jeremy. I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing great, but I am concerned about these new stats. So let's break them down. First off, let's talk about what causes walking pneumonia.
Sure. So walking pneumonia is caused by a bacteria called Mycoplasma pneumoniae.
So when it comes to that, I mean, is this something that you can get just like the cold? It could be any surfaces where you have bacteria?
So walking pneumonia is a respiratory illness. It is spread via respiratory droplets when an infected person either coughs or sneezes, and you in turn inhale those.
Gotcha. Okay, so the difference is one, you would say viral versus respiratory? So
respiratory illnesses could include a virus or a bacteria. In this particular case, walking pneumonia is caused by a bacteria called Mycoplasma pneumoniae. And typically we call it walking pneumonia because oftentimes patients have a very mild set of symptoms. However, it could progress to more severe illness in some cases.
Good to know. As far as symptoms, what do we need to look out for the
Sure.
kiddos?
So it can range anywhere from a common cold, so mild symptoms such as a low-grade fever, cough, runny nose, sneezing, some fatigue, but it can go all the way on to pneumonia, and some individuals may even need to be hospitalized.
Now, speaking of hospitalization here, other treatment, does it have to get that serious? Do you have to take the child to the doctor, or is this something that, you know, mama's good chicken soup can fix at home?
Yes, so again, it's usually a very mild self-limiting infection that lasts anywhere between a week to 2 weeks. However, a patient may need to have antibiotics. Now, your common antibiotics that we would prescribe, such as penicillin, amoxicillin, do not work in these cases, Jeremy. Individuals usually need a more potent antibiotic. However, there are increasing rates of resistance. We've seen it more globally in countries such as China. Here, we're still typically okay. But your usual, hey, doc, can I have penicillin for my child, does not work in this case, if it's needed.
Okay, that's good to know. With all this being said, how do you protect your child from this? What do you do?
Sure. So if you notice that your child is having a fever, cough, they're feeling tired, they're not eating and drinking as much, and that's going on past a week or so, especially if they start having any difficulty breathing, then you really need to get them evaluated by a doctor. Okay? And in some cases, if they end up being hospitalized, there are medications available. I just want individuals to know when we go to the doc and we say, hey, I got this cold, it's been lasting for 3 weeks, can you really give me that antibiotic? Do know that we're not trying to be mean, we're not being punitive, we're not trying to withhold resources. When we just dish out these antibiotics, it can increase resistance for bacterial infections such as walking pneumonia. And rates are high, much higher than they were 7 years ago. And overall, they're 3 times higher than they were even pre-pandemic. But in the youngest children, who we typically don't see it in, children ages 2 to 4 years old, rates are actually up 7 times, Jeremy, what they were previously.
Well, I'm so glad we have your information to help guard us and our children to keep them safe. Dr. Gordon, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
This is Medical Minutes, brought to you by Community Health Network.
Learn more and get more with Wish TV.
Online at wishtv.com, and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook, be sure to check out more great podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now.
Now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.